Hey everyone, welcome back here to my channel where I play Planet Zoo. My name is Nisse and today we're gonna build a habitat for the red panda, which is one of those animals I always forget about, but every time I see it in my zoo it is instantaneously one of my favorite animals because they're just so fun, so cute and so amazing. So overall, yeah, one of my favorite animals, but for some weird reason, it is also very easily overlooked animals, and I kind of feel like I'm not the only one that feels that way. But since we are in Future Life Asia, I feel like here as one of my last animals in this place should be the red panda because it just screams Asia to me. And today will also be the last building I built here in Future Life Asia. Since, as you know, I reuse some of my buildings for multiple habitats, so it will be the same building for the animals I built for next, and which would also be the last animal. And I feel like Future Life have been going on for some years. We got some good benefactors at this point. The money is going in and we can afford some better looking exhibits at this point, so therefore this will also be probably the most thematic built in the entire zoo with a strong Asian theme, and I hope other people see this as Asian. But for me, it's one of these designs that pop up in my head first when I think about Asian themed places. I will just give a short warning here. I really are at the point where the frames are really working against me. So therefore, if you see some bumpy footage today, that's why. I think it went okay when I shot the cinematics, but here through the build, I actually cut 2 hours of just frames standing still out of this video. So yeah, I hope you're okay with it, and yeah, I hope it looks great anyway. I think I got the worst bumps out of it. Anyway, we are talking about the red panda today, and I think most of us know how they look. They have this very burnt, beautiful orangey coat with these white drawings in the face and on the ears. They have this dark brownish black underneath on their legs and their belly size, and their tail have both lighter and darker rings on it. A thing you probably don't know is that their fur is extremely thick, and not only is the fur thick, but they have a unique woolly texture of fur under their paws. Normally, many animals don't have hair on their paws or under their paws, but the red panda used this woolly textured fur very uniquely to help them both keep their paw warm in the snow in the winter, but also so they don't slip either on ice or on wet slippery leaves or anything like that, which are quite unique for the red panda, and I think it's a fact not many people know. Anyway, before I forget, the information for today are coming from animalia.bio, which, as you know, is one of my favorite sites to browse about new animals. And of course, I have left a link for you down in the description if you want to fact check me or just learn more about the red panda or other animals yourself. A lot of the animals I talk on this channel live in a lot of different places, a lot of different biomes, and a lot of different climate zones, and a lot of different countries. Though the red panda only live in Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar, and Nepal, and they stay in the biomes of forest, mountains, or mountain forest. They also stay in one of two climate zones, which would be the temperate or the tropical, though I think most of us think of the temperate when we think about where they live, but they can also enjoy a nice tropical forest area. But with that said, they would be more commonly seen in areas with old forest, these old big giant trees, and a nice bamboo uh, coverage of the forest, since like the giant panda, enjoy the bamboo. Red pandas are very nocturnal and therefore prefer to sleep through most of the day. But when they finally wake up, they actually have a morning routine, which I don't know many animals that do. They sleep up in these big trees, and they normally use their tail as a blanket to keep warm. But when they finally wake up, then they start their morning routine. This would be starting by licking themselves like a cat would do, taking the morning shower, and then they lick their front paws and keep them clean, and basically start rubbing themselves, giving themselves a nice massage, both their toes, their back legs, their torsos, their sides, and their backs and their bellies. No side of the panda goes unturned, because it is a diva and it needs a good morning routine to keep a healthy mind and a healthy life. These morning routines can both be done by themselves manually, or they can use tools such as rocks or trees or whatever they find to help rubbing themselves. And yeah, again, like a massage tool in a way. Next on the order is their daily walk around their area, where they will remember always to mark their area. These are done with urine, but they also use a weak musk-smelling secretion that comes from their anal glands. Not that pleasant for us, but it works for them, apparently. Red pandas aren't specifically vocal, but they do have some twittering tweet or whistling communication words that they can use to kind of communicate to other red pandas. And after they are finally done with their morning walk around their territory, it's time for dinner. They both search for food on the ground and in trees, and they occasionally also use their front paws as hands to kind of pick up their food and place it in the mouth instead of just eating it like a dog or a cat would. But it is an individual thing from panda to panda whether they prefer to eat it one way or another, and some things are just too big for them to pick up with their hands. The red panda's family group is carnivores, but the red panda mainly eat bamboo, just like the giant panda. But they also eat other things such as grasses, acorns, berry, as well as grubs, lizard, mice, chicks, and bird eggs. So they are technically omnivore, but because of their family group, they are listed as carnivores most places. And for people who just think panda bamboo, would normally think of them as herbivores. So therefore there are some confusions out there when it comes to the red panda. When it comes to mating system, the red panda is actually one of the only animals, according to me, who truly are polyamorous. I say this not to throw shade or anything. Animals can do what they want to. I'm not here to tell them otherwise. But this thing is that most animals that are polyamorous, it's only the male. But with the red pandas, both males and females find multiple partner doing a through a single mating season, which lasts from January to March. Red pandas, as I said, both males and females find multiple partners here within a few months, and after that the females will hopefully be pregnant. After this, the males are pretty much done with all they can attribute, but the female have now 4 months to make herself and her home ready for the cubs. she will normally get between 1 and 5 cubs. And if you think the cubs themselves is a handful, then try to imagine to be pregnant with 5 up to 5 cubs. But first you just need to build your entire home. The pandas, as we stated earlier, normally just sleep in the top of the trees. So to make room for the babies on a branch doesn't sound that safe. Therefore she needs to find a hollow in a tree, and in there she will build a nice little nest for her and her cubs, which is much more for the young than the adult, since already a week after birth she will spend so much more time outside than inside. She will be gone for hours at the time, just walking around her territory, eating and whatever she needs to do. And then she will just come back and nest and groom and feed and clean out the nest, and then she will be gone again until next session. To be honest, I don't know many newborn mothers who would leave their baby for so long, but the red pandas got this down. And that's how life will be for the first 3 months of the cub's life. Then after the first 3 months, they will start to go around with their mother, learn how to be a red panda, and then at the age of 6 to 8 months, they will be completely independent. But of course, at the start, after the 90 days, it will take some time for them to get used to being out. So in the beginning, they will only leave the nest at night, and they will only eat bamboo in the start because their digestive system aren't able to take any other foods. So of course this will change with the age, and when they are independent again at the 6 to 8 months window, then they will be fully capable of just going around eating the same as their mom and taking care of themselves. They will not be able to breed yet, though. They will that will take some extra time, and they will be able to reproduce and get cubs of themselves after about 18 months after birth. Though it won't give them the perfect opportunity to get pregnant or to get someone pregnant, since their reproductive system aren't completely intact yet. It will take up to the age of 2 or 3 years before they are that, but in generally they will be able to have a chance of reproducing at 18 months. If you follow my channel, you know I love when animals have some hidden talents, and especially when it's talents that normally don't belong to this type of animal. And honestly, I needed to fact check this, but the red panda honestly have learned a trick from the snakes, since it is actually able to detect many more specific smells or scents with their tongue than they are with their nose. So they can use their nose normally like we do, but when they use their tongue to detect smells, they can difference many more small senses that their nose can detect, which I personally think is kind of weird and kind of awesome. Another weird fact about the red panda is actually that their other name or nickname is Firefox. If you think that sounds familiar, then take a look at your computer. Mozilla actually originally wanted their browser to be named Firebird, but because that name already was taken, they looked at the red panda and thought Firefox was amazing, so the red panda actually gave that name to the browser, which actually also explained their logo, since I always thought it was a red fox on their logo, but clearly it must be a red panda instead. And personally, I think it was the perfect choice for Mozilla to use the Red Panda. And why don't we just keep going with these kind of weird facts? The Red Panda don't actually have thumbs, but it have an extended bone in their palm which they use like a thumb. So if you ever look at a Red Panda grabbing something and you think they use their thumb, think of it like a bone, and it kind of just becomes a little disturbing to think about. And I think a lot of small girls around the world really can resonate with the next fact here. I certainly could when I grew up. I was thin, I was small, and I could just keep eating and eating and eating and eating. And this little cute red panda, which clearly is a very small animal, can eat as much as 200,000 bamboo leaves every single day. And not only can they, but they do. I can eat a lot, but I don't think I can eat that much, to be honest. I don't think bamboo tastes that good anyway, but it's really a lot. Personally, I always been confused about the panda because I didn't understand the connection why this panda was named after the big black and white fluffy panda, because it's just weird. I will say though, the giant panda is not called giant panda in Danish, it only called panda. So you have the panda and the red panda, so it just sounds natural that the panda came before the red panda. But honestly, the red panda has its name long before the giant panda got theirs, and they have been discovered and documented long before anyone ever noticed the giant panda. Anyway, I don't think I can delay this anymore, and you know how this goes normally. At some point we need to talk about the sad stuff. And the red panda is at this point listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List, and that is because the number are decreasing. They are under threats mainly by their habitat being degraded because of deforestation, of course, but also by the development in the areas. They are also hunted and poached and suffer from encounters with stray dogs. People, often children, sometimes disturb their habitats and try to catch an individual, which sometimes causes their death, particularly if they are young. I will say though, we don't have a lot of them running around here in Denmark, but I can tell you this very short story about a Danish zoo where they just didn't think about when the snow comes in the winter, then the snow kind of make a hill up to the barrier. So some of the red pandas just walk right over the hill of snow and out of their habitats. It took some days before they was discovered, and it was the male, I think, which was discovered at a farm where he just hang out and found a nice little cozy home on their hayloft, which I personally think is very cute. He just wanted to get back to the farm. He did get caught and he got back to the zoo, and the funny thing is 2 days later his mate did the exact same thing. So the zookeepers clearly didn't learn from the male. They apparently needed both to escape before they removed the snow. Just a little fun thing to make a light of her dark situation. But luckily the farmer found the male here very fast, within a few days, and they got the zookeepers out with the vets who worked at the zoo to catch them in a humane manner. if kids or a dog or anything like that had found him first, he could have gotten really critically injured. Luckily, the female never got that far. She never even made it out of the zoo, but accidentally she could have wandered into another habitat with the wolf or the lions or anything like that, and that would also have been a really, really bad place to be. So overall, it really isn't that weird to me that the red panda is endangered, since there are really, I know they can be vicious if they need to be, but a lot of animals and humans are bigger and better than them, and they will instantaneously lose a fight if they have to take one with a bigger animal. And they can also accidentally lose a fight to each other, which they aren't animals that fight that much, but they are still territorial. And I understand why kids would want to try and catch a baby red panda, because they are so cute. But that's just up to the parents who really need to teach their kids how to take care of it, or not to take care of a wild animal. Here in Denmark, we learn our kids how to be around dogs, both our own but also other dogs. We teach our kids how to behave in nature. If you go through the forest, if you see an animal, don't run around after them. So I see why the kids would want to catch them, but I don't see how the adult don't make sure that they don't try to. There isn't an exact number of individual red pandas, but at this point there are about 3,000 to 7,000 individuals in China, and 5,000 to 6,000 in India, and a few hundred in Nepal. Overall, it seems like there are somewhere in between 16,000 to 20,000 individuals left in the wild, and most of them lives at this point in national park in small protected zones to make sure that they don't get hunted or poached. I can't speak now, I'm sorry, but you know what I'm trying to say. But they live in these places, so hopefully they are more protected now, and their home is definitely protected. The red pandas are actually extremely important for the forest where they live, since they both eat the prey they do, so they keep the population of that low, but also all of the plants they eat, keeping them intact so they don't overgrow one specific plant over all of the others. They do also help to fertilize the forest, and the forests in these areas are actually known as the lungs of Asia, as far as I understand here, which means that these forests are so well taken care of, and these forests are so well in flux with nature, so they do an enormous work on limited CO2 in the areas, and they just provide much needed clean air to the world, which I think we all need. That's actually the first time I think I ever been done with all of the information I wanted to get out there before the build was done. But then just give me the time to just mention that next Saturday are going to be our live stream here, where we're going to visit every single habitat in this future live project in Asia. Go over, talk a little bit about them, maybe some of the weird, funny facts we learned along the way. And it's just gonna be chill, it's just gonna be relaxed, and yeah, we're just gonna go over it. The last habitat for this zoo will be this Wednesday, and it's gonna be the second half of this building, of course, and then we have our entire future life project done. Of course, I know there are many more animals out there that need help, but hopefully we could help some of them in one of our next project. The next one will not be a future life project. It will be more like a normal zoo, which will give me the opportunity to use more different animals from different parts of the world, which I'm really looking forward to. I've been loving this entire zoo so much, and I'm looking forward for the final tour. But yeah, enjoy the cinematics now, and I will be here afterwards. Okay guys, it seems like we are here, and I don't want to drag this too much out because I know this video is already very long, but I'm pretty proud of the outcome, so I hope you like it too. You know the drill guys, like, subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you know the next time I upload a video. I really hope to see you again at the link comes below or in the next video. Bye guys!